Hi guys, welcome to vsoldier.com. You're listening as always to vsoldier, and welcome to our continuing insight into the heaviest heavyweight sim game on the games market currently. It's Euro Truck Simulator 2. Uh-oh. It's that time guys. Welcome to your dream job. It's 3 AM, Monday morning. I hope you didn't have a big night last night. Time for your first day at work. Plunge. You downloaded the demo, or perhaps you bought the full game of Euro Truck Simulator 2. And you hit the setup file. No need to show you that. And once the game's installed, it's time to create your first profile, which brings you to this screen here. Now, in fairness, it's all pretty self-explanatory. You can set your sex here, either male or female. And obviously the choice you make here depends on the pictures that are available here. These are all our ladies, and if we go back and change that to male, when it comes time to pick a picture, you've got a right rogues gallery to choose from. You can go for the Al Capone look, right there. Or maybe the Richard Gere unshaven look is more to do with your personality. Oh, me, I'm gonna go for this badass mofo here. The aging biker look, which just about sums me up, I guess. So, that's the picture chosen. Pop your name in there. vsoldier 2, because it's the second profile I'm setting up, just to show you guys how to do it. This one's interesting. Preferred truck design. All of the main European truck manufacturers are represented. Renault again, Scania, Volvo, Swedish quality right there. Majestic. Oh, this is an interesting one. Due to licensing issues, Euro Truck Simulator 2 couldn't actually put the Mercedes-Benz manufacturer in this list. So they put it in anyway, but they changed it from Mercedes to Majestic. So essentially the Majestic brand is a Mercedes truck. MAN, more German quality. Iveco. Bit of a reputation on Iveco, but we can talk about that later on. And of course the Dutch giant DAF. So these are your choices. I've spent a little bit of time in quite a few of these trucks as it goes. What should we go for? I think my undoubted favourite has to be the Volvo Globetrotter. Absolutely massive truck, great for spending 4 weeks at a time away from home, with enough little cubbies, nooks and crannies to keep even the most well provisioned long haul truck driver supplied for the duration of the journey. Over here we got your company logo. Don't forget, Euro Truck Simulator 2 is a simulator, so right from the outset you're already looking to build a business. It's the ethos, the main thrust of the game. So let's pick this one here, which shows my ambitions to be a transcontinental driver as opposed to somebody who just bimbles around the UK. Right, in here, the name of your fictitious company. In my instance, it's going to be TGM Logistics, which is the, oops, a daisy, which is the initials of my youngest child, who's 2 in July. Languages are really well covered with this game, but obviously we're going to stick with English. And the playing module, or the map pack, is Europe, and that's not changeable at the moment. So with all that done, all that filled in, hit create, and your profile is made. And now we're going to choose the control method. When you're driving your truck, there are lots of inputs for you, the driver, to put into the operation. How you control those in game is decided here. There's 3 options. The keyboard, drive using the keyboard and look around the world with the mouse. The simplest but the least precise form of control available to anyone. So essentially it all goes on the keyboard, and wow, it's okay. It's okay, and I mean, you'd manage fine. We've been operating games on keyboard for 30 years, so it's tried and tested. But as the description says, it's not very precise. So that brings us onto the mouse. Use the mouse for more sensitive steering. Other actions are still performed on the keyboard. You can use the mouse to look around only if you simultaneously hold a special camera controlled key or button. Well, in my instance it's the right mouse key. So you click the right mouse key and move your mouse right or left at the same time, and that gives you the driver's eye view. You can swing right to look out the driver's window, swing left to look out the opposite side. It's okay, it works well. Unfortunately, if you're driving and you need to look right or left, it means using the mouse to control your look direction as opposed to controlling the direction of the truck. So that can end in tears. So again, not perfect, but entirely doable. And the third option is to use a dedicated controller, like steering wheel, wheel and pedals, even a joystick. And this is the most, according to the software producers, the most realistic game experience. I haven't tried it. Keyboard hotkeys can still be used to access many actions, and you can look freely with the mouse using mouse look, right click and swing. Perfect if you've got a controller. I should go for that option, but in my instance, as you can see here, no gaming controller was found. You have to connect one now to enable this choice. Well, I don't have one available, so I'm going to stick with the mouse. Okay, the next set of selections we need to make are regarding the type of gearbox we've got on our truck. There's 4 options available, although the 4th option, this H shifter, requires a steering wheel, gamepad or joystick, and I don't have any of those. I use a mouse, so this isn't even available to me. So let's look at the 3 that are left. Here we've got simple automatic. This is the simplest driving method, designed especially, but not only, for the keyboard control. Press forward to drive forward and press back to brake or reverse. The gearbox will handle everything else for you, switching between driving forward, braking or reversing, shifting to proper gears and so on. Now this is okay, this works. This is the system I use at the moment, and I recommend, if you're taking a first look, if you're playing the demo, or if you've just bought the game and you're firing it for the first time, I think this is the way to go. There's a lot to think about when you're driving your truck. First and foremost, to keep it between the white lines, obviously, and make sure you don't crash into anything. But being able to press forward for forward and backwards for backwards, whilst it's not perfect, sometimes you don't realise you're still on forward and you think you're going to go backwards and you crash into a wall or something. But just by double checking your selection, by tapping the key twice, either the forward key or the backward key, That'll confirm which direction you're going to travel in, which always helps, I find. Second choice is real automatic, ideal for wheel and pedal setups. Use buttons to switch between driving forward, standing, neutral or reverse. Then press the accelerator pedal and let the automat handle all the rest. Handles the gear changes, which is nice. Nice and slick, I should imagine, leaving your hands free for doing other things. But as I say, unfortunately I don't have wheel and pedals. So let's check out the third choice, which is sequential gears. Manually shift gears up and down to select between forward gears, neutral and reverse. Now at this stage it's worth mentioning that these trucks have between 12 and 16 gears, and literally sometimes you can find yourself shifting up or shifting down if you're climbing a hill. Often it's going to be like click rev, click rev, click rev, click rev, click rev, just to keep momentum, and that's going to take up a lot of your brain power initially. So whilst later on in the game I would heartily recommend you try the manual gears. I mean, if we're trying to simulate the truck driver experience, this is what the majority of trucks are, is manual shift. Although automatic boxes are coming more to the fore. The Iveco Stralis, for instance, brought fully automatic, or well, it was semi-automatic, but there was no clutch pedal at all, it was just an electronic switch. And Mercedes-Benz also, they had a similar setup. But for the most part, truck drivers are still shifting manually, and this will give you a good idea of how that feels. But like I say, if you're just checking it out for the first time, I can't recommend simple automatic often enough, so that's what we're going to select. The game is now configured and you can continue. You can change the configuration later on controller screen in options. Move mouse to the left or right to rotate the steering wheel, so it's literally just that movement there to rotate the steering wheel right and left. Use up or W to drive forward and use down or S to reverse. That's ideal for left-handed or right-handed people. So I'm right-handed, so the right hand controls the mouse. Therefore I use W and S to operate forward and reverse, as they're on the left-hand side of the keyboard. If you do it the other way around and you're left-handed, so your left hand controls the mouse, you're going to use the up and down keys at the bottom right of the keyboard. Pretty straightforward. So with that said, the wizard is closed and it will now load up hopefully our profile screen. Oh no, I'm wrong. Select the city you want to start in. Okay, so this is going to be the home city. This is where you're going to base your transport enterprise. This is where your first operating centre will be. For me, I'm going to select my hometown of Cardiff and confirm selection. Do you want to walk through the tutorial? Well, no, not really. We've been through the tutorial, and I'm going to cover the early start. When you first get into grips with the game, I'm going to cover that in subsequent videos, so I don't think we need to go through that just now. Which takes us nicely onto... I don't know. I don't know, it's a surprise. Let's wait and see. Sorry if you heard a click there, I had to switch my mic off quick. And a frog in my throat. My aging Sony system is struggling a little bit with running the recording software and the game. Oh, here we go. Look at that, that's the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff right there in the background. Fantastic. Okay, so let's enter. At last you have the chance to experience your dream job. Driving a truck, nice, dream job. Your our own transportation company is now open for business, but we sadly lack the money to buy a truck. For now you'll have to work for other companies as a driver for hire. Your task is to safely deliver a load of potatoes to Stoke Stock in Cardiff. Your employer has provided you with a vehicle and will cover all expenses. Don't let anyone down. I'm sure you'll arrive on time. So what we've just done essentially is we've set up our profile. We're now ready to get into the game, and here we are. This is the interface. This is your pilot seat. This is where everything takes place. Using numeric keys you can check out all the different camera views. 6, 7. Whilst you're looking outside of the truck like this, you see this little thing at the bottom here. This tells you exactly where your mouse is. So when you're reversing or close manoeuvring, you can be looking outside to make sure you're not going to twang anything. And this will let you know where your steering wheel is, which is really, really handy. Really handy. So let's get back into the cab, and we got loads and loads and loads of time to be talking about the controls, so I think without further ado we'll get going and we'll chat a little bit more as we head down the road. So I hope you'll join me on the next video, where we'll be taking to the road and we'll deliver our load of potatoes to Cardiff Dock. And in the meantime, if you like what you see and you'd like to stick around with us, I hope you'll like and subscribe our channel and keep checking back. And don't forget, you can keep abreast of what's going on in gaming news at vsoldier.com.